Good morning, students. This is Dr. Ritu. Today, a topic of discussion is about NSAIDs, that is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. We will discuss them in detail. Relevance of this topic in your exam, it will be covered in your paper as a long question. So, at objective level, you should know what is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug and their therapeutic uses. And at subjective level, we discuss classification, mechanism of action of these drugs. So non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are not steroid, but can cure or prevent inflammation, known as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are one of the most commonly used medication worldwide. These drugs have both analgesic and anti-inflammatory activity. These effects make NSAID useful for the treatment of muscles pain, relieve pain, reduce inflammation, and bring down a high fever. This condition is called high temperature. This condition is called fever. Okay, so these non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug is also called antipyretic analgesic. They have antipyretic analgesic property. Antipyretic analgesic means that lower the temperature of the body in pyrexia. So pyrexia is a condition in which body temperature have been raised above normal. So these non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are used as a antipyretic analgesic agent. It is clear to everyone? Okay, so NSAIDs have some main therapeutic effect, that is analgesic, antipyretic, and anti-inflammatory. So NSAIDs have these important therapeutic effect, that is analgesic, antipyretic, and anti-inflammatory effect. First is analgesic. Analgesic, normally called pain relief drug. So they relieve pain without anesthesia. They relieve pain without anesthesia. Are you familiar with this term, anesthesia? Can you define this term, anesthesia? Yes. What is anesthesia?
Loss of sensation.
Okay. Right, and that is anesthesia means loss of sensation. So these analgesic effect, that is relief pain without anesthesia or loss of consciousness. So they reduce pain without loss of consciousness, because the anesthesia loss pain with loss of consciousness. Okay. The second effect the NSAID have, that is antipyretic action. So antipyretic action, that is reduce a fever. So in fever condition, the body temperature have been raised above normal. So these drugs act as an antipyretic action. The next effect the NSAIDs have, that is anti-inflammatory actions. So in the anti-inflammatory action, these drugs lower inflammation when used in higher doses. When we used in higher doses of NSAIDs category drug, they used also as a anti-inflammatory drug. Okay. Now we discuss the classification. So classification of this NSAIDs category divided into groups based on the chemical structure. So on the basis of chemical structure, the drug divided into 4 categories. First is carboxylic acid, second is pyrazoles, third is oxycames, and the last category, that is peripheral analgesic antipyretic. So first we discuss, that is first category, that is carboxylic acid. So in the carboxylic acid, the drug have carboxylic group in their structure. So first category in this carboxylic acid, that is salicylic acid, or also called salicylates. The example of this category is aspirin. So are you familiar with this? Aspirin drug is a common drug. Okay, the second category is a acetic acid. So acetic acid category of drug is indomethacin. Next drug is propionic acid. And the propionic acid drug is ibuprofen. So ibuprofen, are you familiar with this ibuprofen drug? Because it is used as a painkiller drug. Ibuprofen basically it is used as a painkiller drug. So ibuprofen category is propionic acid. The second category of this classification is pyrazoles. So example of pyrazole category drug is phenylbutazone. The next category is oxycame, and the oxycame category drug is pyroxicam. Okay, and the last classification category, that is peripheral analgesic antipyretic. What is peripheral analgesic antipyretic? First we discuss, that is the drug that relieve mild to moderate pain. Peripheral analgesic antipyretic that relieve mild to moderate pain such as headache and lower higher body temperature in the condition of pyrexia, and some of them used in the gout. What is gout? So gout is a genetically determined metabolic disease in which there is overproduction of purine. So these peripheral analgesic antipyretic also used in as a anti-gout drug. So some category of these peripheral analgesic antipyretic is para-aminophenol derivative. Example of para-aminophenol derivative is paracetamol. So paracetamol is a very common drug. Most of person used paracetamol in the fever. So that is paracetamol category is para-aminophenol derivative. The second category is pyrazolone derivative, and the pyrazolone derivative drug is antipyrin. And the last miscellaneous category in this, the drug is allopurinol. So allopurinol drug used as a anti-gout drug. So these drugs also used as in the treatment of the gout. Okay. Now first we discuss the carboxylic acid derivative, that is salicylic acid or salicylate. Before start the carboxylic acid derivative, salicylate or salicylic acid, first we discuss the mechanism of action of NSAID category drug. So in this mechanism of action, the drug act on the COX enzyme, that is cyclooxygenase enzyme. When the tissue injury when tissue injured, the cell damage, and this damaged cell initiate activation of membrane phospholipid. In this condition, the activation of the membrane phospholipid takes place, and the cell of this area produce arachidonic acid. So this arachidonic acid, with the help of cyclooxygenase enzyme, is converted into the prostaglandin, and the prostaglandin is responsible to produce inflammation, hypothalamic temperature, that is fever, and also induce pain in our body. So this prostaglandin responsible for these effects in our body. And the NSAID category drug, that is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, act at this enzyme. So they drug act through the enzyme cyclooxygenase enzyme. Okay, so the main mechanism of action of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug is the inhibition of these enzymes, cyclooxygenase enzyme. Cyclooxygenase enzyme, this COX enzyme, is required to convert arachidonic acid into prostaglandin. So this enzyme is responsible to convert arachidonic acid into prostaglandin. Okay. So prostaglandin causes inflammation, increase the temperature set point in hypothalamus, okay, and also produce pain in our body. Okay, so these cyclooxygenase enzyme, they have two categories: COX-1 enzyme, that is cyclooxygenase 1 enzyme, and cyclooxygenase 2 enzyme, that is COX-1 and COX-2. COX-1 continuously expressed in our body. It plays a role in maintaining gastrointestinal mucosa lining, kidney function, and platelet aggregation. And the COX-2 is not continuously expressed in the body, and it expressed during an inflammatory response. In the inflammation reaction, the COX-2 enzyme is produced. So only in the COX-2 enzyme, the drugs are selective when they inhibit the COX-2 enzyme. So these enzymes, cyclooxygenase enzyme, basically is a two enzyme, that is COX-1 enzyme, COX-1 and COX-2 enzyme. This is COX-1 and COX-2 enzyme. So COX-1 enzyme is responsible for kidney functioning, for the GIT mucosa lining, and the platelet aggregation. But the COX-2 enzyme is only expressed in the inflammatory reaction, in the inflammation. When the inflammation in the body, the COX-2 enzyme is expressed. Okay, it is clear to everyone? This mechanism of action is clear to everyone? Okay, yes, Tushar? Yes, can you ask your question? Yes, Tushar? Unmute your microphone and ask question. Yes, anyone have any doubt? Yes, Tushar?
No, ma'am, no doubts.
Okay. Okay, Deepraj. The first classification category, that is salicylates. So salicylate, basically it is a derivative of salicylic acid. Okay, the Tushar question, that is, what is role of COX-1 in our body? So Tushar, COX-1, because it is continuously expressed in our body and it play a important role to maintaining gastrointestinal mucosa lining, kidney function, and platelet aggregation. So this is the role of COX-1 enzyme in our body. Tushar, I hope you are understood. Okay. So the next classification category, that is salicylates. So salicylate is a derivative of salicylic acid. And the example of this category, that is example of drug, is aspirin. So aspirin is a acetyl salicylic acid. Aspirin is a acetyl salicylic acid. It is a prodrug of salicylic acid. What is prodrug? What is prodrug? Can you define? Anybody, can you define the prodrug? Sanjali?
प्रोड्रग इनिशियली इनएक्टिव फॉर्म में होते हैं, बट आफ्टर मेटाबॉलिज्म दे आर एक्टिव.
Okay, right, Anjali. Because prodrug initially they are inactive drug, but after metabolism, after biotransformation, they converted into the active drug. Okay, so aspirin is a prodrug of salicylic acid. Initial form, the aspirin is inactive drug, but after metabolism, they converted into the active drug. So aspirin was the first non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug to be discovered. Okay, this is the structure of NSAIDs. And some uses that is related to aspirin is used to reduce fever and relieve mild to moderate pain. From conditions such as muscles ache, toothache, common cold, and headache. So in this mild pain condition, the aspirin are used. But it may also be used to reduce pain and swelling in conditions such as arthritis. So in arthritis condition, they reduce pain as well as swelling. It is also an anti-inflammatory drug and can be used as a blood thinner. So aspirin is also used as a blood diluter. Okay. It is often given to patient immediately after a heart attack to prevent clot formation and cardiac tissue death. So in the cases of the heart attack patients, initial stage 1 hour is important for these patients. So in the initial starting, to prevent the clot formation, aspirin drug can be used. Okay, so this is a structure of aspirin drug. Now we discuss the SAR points of this drug, that is SAR. SAR, it is a structural activity relationship points. Okay, so this is the structure of aspirin. So first we discuss some important point. The first point related to the structural activity relationship of this drug, the first point, that is this carboxylic group. So the carboxylic group is essential for the anti-inflammatory activity of the drug. The first point of the SAR is that is carboxylic group is essential for the activity. Okay. Next point, that is for the optimal activity of aspirin, acetyl group is necessary at position second. Okay, so second point, for the optimal activity of aspirin, this acetyl group. Okay, so this acetyl group is necessary at position second. So at this second position, this acetyl group is essential for the activity. Okay, increase in carbon chain with acetyl group, increase in the carbon chain of this acetyl group will decrease the activity. So no need of increase the carbon chain at this second position. Okay, clear? This point is clear. The next point related to structural activity relationship, that is if carboxylic group is replaced, this carboxylic group, if the carboxylic group is replaced by ester group, this carboxylic group is replaced by ester group, its activity will decreases. So at this point, when we replace the carboxylic group with ester group, the activity of the drug is decreases. Okay, so now we discuss the next point. Attachment of any substituent at position number 4. At this position, the attachment of any substituent at position 4 the pharmacological activity of aspirin will lost. So that's why this position is free. So no substitution at the fourth position is attached. Okay, because when we add any substitution at the fourth position, the activity of the aspirin drug is decreases. Okay, clear? Okay, next point, that is halogen substituent to benzene ring. So at this benzene ring, no halogen substituent are attached, because this halogen substituent can increase the activity, but they also increase the toxicity of the drug. So no halogen group are attached at this benzene ring of aspirin. Okay, so all structural activity point are clear to everyone. The points are clear. These points are clear. Okay. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Deepraj. Next, we discuss some other points that is related to mode of action or mechanism of action. So, are you familiar with the main mechanism of action or mode of action of the NSAID drug? So, aspirin also inhibit. The aspirin drug also inhibit the biosynthesis of prostaglandin by inhibiting the enzyme cyclooxygenase, by inhibiting the COX enzyme. So the aspirin drug directly act on this enzyme, that is cyclooxygenase enzyme, because this enzyme is responsible to converted arachidonic acid into prostaglandin. Arachidonic acid into prostaglandin. So these prostaglandins is responsible to induce fever, inflammation, and pain. So aspirin inhibit the biosynthesis of prostaglandin by means of an irreversible acetylation. By means of, this point is to remember, that is irreversible acetylation, because the drug inhibit the biosynthesis of prostaglandin by irreversible acetylation. That means it inhibit the COX enzyme permanently, because these drug, the aspirin inactivate COX enzyme, that is cyclooxygenase enzyme, permanently, because the action of these drug is irreversible acetylation. Okay, clear to everyone? This is the mechanism of action or mode of action of the aspirin drug. So basically, aspirin inhibit the biosynthesis of prostaglandin by the inhibition of the COX enzyme by irreversible acetylation. Okay. Now we discuss the second category of carboxylic acid group, that is acetic acid. So acetic acid drug category, that is indomethacin, also called indomethacin, is also called indocin. So indocin is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug available as an oral suspension. So the route of administration for this indomethacin drug is oral route. It is given by oral route, and it is available in the form of suspension. So suspension, can you familiar with this term suspension? Can you identify this? Can you explain this term suspension? Yes, what is suspension? What is suspension? Yes, actually.
The suspension is a biphasic liquid dosage form with solid suspension suspended into the liquid.
Okay, right, Anjali. So suspension is a biphasic liquid dosage form, and in the suspension, one phase is liquid and another phase is, yes, Deepraj? Yes, yes. You explain this? Yeah.
Ma'am, a suspension is a heterogeneous mixture in which the solid particles do not dissolve but get suspended.
Okay. Okay. Right. Yes, Deepraj, it is right. That is, in the suspension, the drug in the form of solid as well as liquid. So two phases are there. One phase is liquid and the another phase is solid or maybe semi-solid. So in this, the solid suspended into the liquid is called suspension. Okay. So This drug is also available into the suspension form. So suspension given by the oral route of administration. Okay. Indomethacin is used to relieve pain, swelling, and joint stiffness caused by arthritis and gout. So in the case of arthritis and in the case of gout, when the purine increase in large amount, so in this case, the joint are stiff, and because urate crystal are deposit in the joint areas, that's why joint are stiff and maybe swelling at that area and inflammation may be caused. Okay, so indomethacin is used to relieve pain, swelling, and joint stiffness caused by arthritis and gout. Okay, now indomethacin is used to reduce inflammation, pain, and fever. So it is also used as an anti-inflammatory drug, as an analgesic drug, and as an antipyretic drug. It is used to treat rheumatoid arthritis. This drug is also used as a rheumatoid arthritis. So in the rheumatoid, a condition affecting children or young adults. In this condition, the systemic illness, fever, and joint pain. So this drug is also used to treat rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, gouty arthritis, and shoulder pain. So these are the therapeutic uses of indomethacin drug of acetic acid category. Now we discuss the SAR points of this drug, that is structural activity points. Structural activity points of this drug. In this drug, okay, so for the SAR activity relationship point, we can write at this group. We can write this group, that is R1. Okay, this is R1, and this is a X group. Okay, and numbering start from this nitrogen, that is 1. Okay, first point, that is a second point, and this is a third point. Okay, then a fourth, this position is 5th, 6th, and 7th. Okay, so we start the structural activity points. Okay, the first point related to this carboxylic acid group. Okay, so replacement of the carboxylic group, the replacement of the carboxylic group with other acidic functional group decrease the activity. Okay, clear this point? As the acidity of the carboxylic group increases, when the acidity of this carboxylic group increases, the anti-inflammatory activity of drug also increases. Okay, so when the acidity of this carboxylic acid is increases, the anti-inflammatory activities also increases of the drug. Okay, next point related to this, when the amide group are attached at this place, when the amide group are attached at this place, the activity of the drug is decreases. So amide analog are inactive. Okay, clear this points? This third position point is clear to everyone. So no amide group are placed at this position, only carboxylic group is essential for the activity. Okay, next, the second position. So at the second position, methyl is more active than phenyl group. So at the second position, methyl group is essential for the activity for at the second position, this methyl is more active than the phenyl group. Okay, the next point is related to this position. So N-benzoyl derivative, this is a benzoyl ring. So N-benzoyl, this is a nitrogen. So N-benzoyl derivative substituted in the para position. So this chlorine atom attached at the para position. Okay, so N-benzoyl derivative substituted in the para position with fluoro, Okay, chloro, fluoro, chloro, trifluoromethyl group are more active. So you can add substitution like fluoro, chloro, trifluoromethyl at this para position. So this is important for the activity of the drug. Okay. Next, the indole ring. So at the indole nitrogen, this is the indole nitrogen. So nitrogen atom on the indole ring is not important for the activity of the drug. So you can replace this nitrogen. So the activity of the drug is not decreases. Okay. So this nitrogen is not very important for the activity of the drug. Next important point, that is related to the sixth position, that is related to the fifth position. So at the fifth position, alkyl oxy substituent, this alkyl oxy substituent at fifth position is more active than the aryl substitution. So this alkyl group is essential. This alkyl group is essential for the activity of the drug. When you you add the aryl substitution, the activity of the drug is decreases. So for the better activity of the drug, alkyl substitution at fifth position is more active than aryl substitution. Okay, the all points are clear. The all points of structural activity relationship are clear. Okay. Next, we discuss the carboxylic acid category drug, that is propionic acid. So propionic acid, that is numerous phenyl acetic acid and propionic acid derivative have been synthesized and found to be active as anti-inflammatory agent. And the most commonly employed agent from this class is ibuprofen. So this ibuprofen drug is very important because ibuprofen said to the this boy, that is, I am ibuprofen, your best friend in the entire world. So this ibuprofen is used as a painkiller drug. It is used as a painkiller drug. Okay, it is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug and also has an antiplatelet effect, which means it protects from blood clots, because it protects from blood clots. That's why it has antiplatelet effect. People with heart problem, stroke, peptic ulcer should use it with care. Okay. Ibuprofen was the first member of propionic acid derivative to be introduced in 1969 as a better alternative to aspirin, because aspirin have some side effect. It is damage the causes the gastric ulceration. So that's why because of this side effect, the aspirin is not used. So ibuprofen is a better alternative to aspirin. Okay. Gastric discomfort, nausea and vomiting, though less than aspirin or indomethacin, are still the most common side effects. Okay, so these common side effects are related to aspirin drug and indomethacin drug, but in the case of ibuprofen drug have less side effect. Okay, although its anti-inflammatory properties may be weaker than those of some other NSAIDs, it has a prominent analgesic and antipyretic role. So these drugs have a prominent analgesic and antipyretic role. Okay, clear? This is a structure of propionic acid category drug, that is ibuprofen. So for the structural activity relationship, we can write that for the structural activity relationship, okay, we can write that is at this this carboxylic group, we can write that is R1. No, okay, so this group is called R1. Okay, this is R2 and this is R3. Okay, clear? So for the structural activity relationship, size of the substituent R1. Okay, size of the substituent R1 with isobutyl substituent. So this group is isobutyl. So with isobutyl substituent, in that case, the maximum activity of the drug. But at this place, when we add a small substitution like methyl group or ethyl group, reduce the activity of the drug. So at the R1 position, only the isobutyl substituent is essential for the activity. We added any small group or large group, it decreases the activity of the drug. Okay, yeah. Next, that is maximum activity is found with this R3 position group, because at the R3 position, the methyl group is essential for the activity, methyl group, but any smaller group, when we remove this methyl group with H atom, when we remove this methyl group with H atom, the activity of the drug is decreases. So for the better activity of the drug at the third position, that the R3 position, methyl group is essential for the activity. Okay. The next, that is related to R2 position. So carboxylic, replacement of the carboxylic function by an ester. The replacement of this carboxylic group by an ester group, by an alcohol group, by amide group, these produce less active compound. So for the better activity, the carboxylic group is essential for the activity of the ibuprofen drug. So this carboxylic acid is important. Okay, so these are the structural activity relationship. Mechanism of action we already discussed in the initial slide. Okay, so these are carboxylic acid category drugs are completed. The three drugs, that is salicylate category, example is aspirin. The second category, that is acetic acid, indomethacin is also completed. And the third category, that is propionic acid, and the ibuprofen is a propionic acid drug. So it is completed. Have you any doubt? You can ask question. Thank you, everyone.